Okay, so I've had this thought before how stop signs are invisible walls, and it's like a really strange phenomenon if you just pause. this is not driving advice for you to do in a crowded area, but if you're out where there's not a lot of traffic somewhere or whatever, try to just go through a stop sign. You can feel this has this invisible wall. And I was thinking about that, and I saw this on Instagram, something about how influence of people around you and what they're doing will influence your decision. Influence most people's decisions, I guess. It was a study that they did where they had 3 people who were actors and 1 person who didn't know the other people that he was in the study with were actors. They were asked to say which lines were similar. 2 of them were real obvious. The one that was longer or shorter or whatever. And they ask, and the guy, he says the first answer, like it's peer pressure, right? And so the guy gives the right answer for the first time, even though the other 3 actors all give the same wrong answer. So, and it's like obvious, and you see the guy's eyebrow furrow. He's like, what's going on? What? He just can't even understand. So then they bring up another set of lines, and it's the same thing. One's obviously right and the others are wrong. And so the 3 people are asked before him, and they all give the same wrong answer. And then when it comes to him, he gives that same wrong answer. And it's just trying to show that impact. And the reason why I thought about the stop sign and then I kind of correlated these 2 things is I was at the train tracks just now, and the arms were down, and they were down on one street. So I'm like, oh hell, I'll drive down and see if I can maybe the next one, because the train wasn't coming. It was just a malfunction or something. And so I go up to the next road, and they're still down. So I'm like, oh, this is a bummer, but I'll just wait here at the train and ride a little bit. Well, then I see the people in front of me. There's 3 or 4 cars in front of me, and they start turning around and going the other way. What the hell is going on? All the way up to the first guy in the front, right by the tracks, and the arms down, turns around and leaves. What is going on? And so correlating these things, this invisible wall and this notion that one person turned around, next person turned around, and the other person turned around, this kind of lemming mentality. I went up and just drove around. The place I'm coming to, where I'm sitting right now, is 20 yards away from where the train tracks were. I'm not driving way the heck out of my way when either these arms are going to come up or I'm just going to drive around them. Like, there's no risk. There's no train. I mean, I pulled up close enough to be able to look both ways and see that there's no train, no lights, nothing. There wouldn't be for anything miles. This was not sort of a hazardous stunt that I was doing. It was no threat. I can't believe that the person in front didn't just go around. And if he would have went around, I bet you the others would have went around. But instead they turned around. They all turned around. That's incredible to me, because I just went up to the thing and went around the tracks. But I guess the lesson is, with invisible walls, we create invisible walls with limitations, with self-talk. We create invisible walls based on culture and society, glass ceilings, because social proof and the anxiety of potentially going out on a limb and doing something that's your own can be, I guess, a little bit scary. It doesn't resonate with me, because I obviously drive around the tracks. I do stop at invisible walls that are stop signs, and I can feel it, because I'll go up to that invisible wall, that red octagon, and say, just go through it. I'll have a whisper sometimes. This is not a regular occurrence, but there'll be times when I say, like, just go through it. Like, no, there's not traffic. It's not a crazy thing. Again, there's absolutely no risk at all. You're not doing anything to put anyone, yourself or anyone else, in danger, but you stop because the invisible wall. In the case of traffic, it makes sense. And I guess what I'm getting to here more so is, like, what are these stop signs in your heart or in your subconscious, in your work, in your relationships, in your life? What are the stop signs? What are the invisible walls? What are these train track arms that are down? And do you follow the leader and sometimes just turn around? Or sometimes do you blow through? Makes me also think of Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights, which was a fantastic book. If you've not read it, I listened to the audiobook, which is even better because you get to hear Matthew McConaughey doing Matthew McConaughey. But sometimes, I guess what I'm saying, in Matthew's book, he talks about green lights. Sometimes you're going to have red lights, but you got to go anyway. I guess is what I'm saying. Sometimes you got that invisible wall, and you just got to push through. You got to break through. You got to say, nah, I'm going to go right through this one. So that's my piece. Peace.